And action is truly needed to rebuild our economy. We know that. The American people know that. And our elected leaders know that we have to not only have good policies for homeland security and national security, but our economic security at home. And unfortunately, the Democrat majority, in their so-called stimulus bill, which is really nothing more than a spending bill, does nothing of the sort. It devotes, quote, tens of billions of dollars to causes that have little to do with jolting our economy out of recession, as the Associated Press says. Only 3% of the funds in the so-called stimulus bill, or the pork barrel bill, are dedicated to road and highway infrastructure projects. And just 2.7% is dedicated to small business tax relief, even though we know that 90% of Americans are employed by small businesses, and most of the new jobs that this country creates are created by small businesses. And the Democrats' answer to stimulating the economy is not by helping small businesses, but by creating 32 new government programs and spending $646,214 per government job that is created under that bill. To make matters worse, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office reported that over half the money will be spent between 2011 and 2019, after most economists say this economy will have recovered and will be out of this recession. Look, this was nothing more than a partisan opportunity to lard up and load up this piece of legislation and add a bunch of different liberal spending priorities. It's not about a stimulus. It's not about helping the American people through these economic times. And with so many of my constituents struggling in western North Carolina, just to keep their head above water, this Congress passed an $819 billion spending bill that will do nothing but add to our debt and deficit and cause us massive inflation in the years to come, as well as mounting debt every day. And I'm in agreement with so many of these economists who predict that this legislation will have a disastrous effect on our long-term economic security in this country and will do little to stimulate this economy. Well, the one thing that is certain is the result of this type of legislation will be a massive tax increase by this Democrat Congress in the future. I think this is highly unfortunate. I think we should come together, as President Obama has said, and work for a bipartisan piece of legislation that will have tax cuts for small businesses in this country, as well as proper infrastructure spending that will help our economy regain its footing so we can get back to economic growth and creating new jobs and good jobs for my constituents in western North Carolina, as well as all Americans in all 50 states. And so with that, I urge this congressional leadership to work together and listen to what President Obama has said. And with that, I yield back the